Well, thank you very much, Senator Collins, for calling this very important hearing, but also let me say I associate myself entirely with your comments. I think you discussed this issue with great eloquence, great clarity, and great emphasis because it is critically important. Like any other institution of higher education in the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy, it has to have an environment that students feel safe. They feel that they have the ability to communicate with responsible officials if there's an issue, that they have to be protected and supported, not just by their classmates and colleagues, but by the senior leadership of the academy. And I believe that you have to act with the greatest sense of urgency to accomplish that mission. We're in a situation today where we're seeing actually the rate of sexual assault at the academy rising. This is clear based on the preliminary results of the 2016 survey, where nearly 20% of female midshipmen reported experienced sexual assault. And this is a 2% increase from 2014 and a 5% increase from 2012. Addressing this problem is challenging, particularly when the key personnel positions, as Senator Collins pointed out, that directly manage sexual assault and sexual harassment prevention and response are vacant, delayed by President Trump's, I believe, counterproductive hiring ban. This ban has held up hiring for critical leadership positions at the academy, including the sexual assault response coordinator, victim advocates, and the commandant of midshipmen. The funding is there for the hiring of these individuals, but the ban prevents that. The Federal Government certainly isn't saving any money, just causing an awful lot of unnecessary, I think, harm, all the while sending a terrible signal to students, their parents, and the American people that this problem is not being taken seriously. Months later, a hiring exemption was granted for some of these positions, but another 22 critical positions remain vacant. You cannot run a school, ensure the safety of students, and provide the quality education these students deserve without the faculty and staff to support operations. The hiring freeze doesn't apply to the other service academies, and it shouldn't apply to the Merchant Marine Academy. I don't think there should be any hiring freeze at all, particularly in these critical positions. I recognize that the Merchant Marine Academy is not the only institution facing the challenge of sexual harassment and assault. Colleges across America are struggling to address this problem. It's not unique to the Merchant Marine Academy. However, as one of the Federal Government service academies, we should expect the Merchant Marine Academy to be a model for institutions of higher learning around the country. To get there, we must demand accountability, provide sufficient funding, and learn from what has been successful elsewhere. At the other military service academies, victims are immediately provided legal counsel. And does the policy make sense at the Merchant Marine Academy? That's an issue I think we'd like to explore today. What we would need to do to implement this policy. Because the Merchant Marine Academy's unique Sea-Year program takes students across the globe, we need to make sure that the roles and responsibilities of the investigation of sexual assault cases overseas are clearly understood by the investigating agencies, the shipboard operators, the midshipmen, and the Academy itself. And based on the briefings we've had so far, I'm not confident that this is the case. In fact, my concern is that we are sending young people onto ships that are not prepared to accept them, nor do they understand what their options are when we're aboard those ships. And that is a failure, ultimately, of leadership. Finally, I'd like to address concerns over reprisal and retribution, which is a key problem that keeps too many students from coming forward. In order for students to feel comfortable reporting incidents of sexual assault and harassment, a culture totally intolerant of reprisal is required. I understand that the Merchant Marine Academy doesn't fall under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which treats acts of retribution as a criminal offense. But students in the industry need to stand up for the victims, not blame them. Swift action must be taken against those that hold such an attitude. These are just a few of the many concerns that I have about the work that remains to be done. If resources are needed, now is the time to let us know. I fully realize that this is an issue that cannot be solved with any one remedy or policy. It will take a concerted effort and multifaceted approach from the top down. And I look forward to hearing from our witnesses about their plans and ideas. Thank you, Madam Chairwoman.